Hey everybody, it's Karen with Food and Family. Today I want to show you how I make jalapeno popper mac and cheese. It is amazing. Now you think jalapeno, it's not hot. You take out the ribs and the seeds, and that's where the majority of your heat is. So I'm going to start with half of an onion, and I want to chop it up. Now in my pan here, I started melting a couple of tablespoons of butter, and I didn't add any oil. We're just using butter today. Does that surprise you? So I want to get this onion chopped up and get it in that butter. Now I have 2 jalapenos. They were kind of large, but I got those diced up real fine. Like I said, I took the seeds out and the ribs, and we're going to get those sauteed up in this butter. We just want them to get a little tender. Just doesn't take but a couple of minutes. So I'm going to turn this back on. Now let's get this onion in here. Now be careful when you're dealing with these jalapenos. I used gloves when I chopped them up because you don't want to take a chance if you were to touch your eyes or your nose or something, and it will set you on fire. Now this recipe has a lot of cheese in it. Does that surprise you too? Isn't that just pretty in there? I love macaroni and cheese, and I thought this one would be good, and I wanted to share it with you guys. So let me get this sauteed up for a minute, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you what else we're going to do to this. Okay, these peppers and onions are tender now. The onions are just getting translucent, and by the time this is said and done, you won't hardly know the onions are in there. So I've got 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour that I'm putting in this, and we're just going to stir it around for a minute. All we want to do is get that raw flour taste out. Now at this point, I'm going to put a little bit of salt and pepper. Now keep in mind, we've got a lot of cheese going in here, so you do not want a lot of salt. And I'm going to put, I don't know, that may be 1/2 teaspoon of pepper, maybe 1/4 teaspoon of salt, if that much. It was just a pinch. And I should have used my measuring cups. It says a pinch and a smidge, and I didn't. So we're going to stir this around. Like I said, we just want to get that raw flour taste. Now, I have 1.5 cups of milk. And what I've done is I've got 1 cup of whole milk and 1/2 cup of heavy cream. Now you can use 1/2 and 1/2. You can use all heavy cream. Now if you use all heavy cream, it's going to be pretty thick. So I would kind of mix it like I did. I've got my oven set to 375. Now I'm going to add my milk. Can you hear that? Oh, that's a beautiful sound. Okay, so we're just going to stir this around until it gets thick. You know how you're doing a gravy? That's what we want. So while that is thickening up, let's do this. I have 6 ounces of cream cheese, and I just want to cut it up. It's softened. I set it out this morning so it could get soft. And I want to cut it up. If you put this whole block in there, it's going to take it a few minutes to melt completely. So I'm just cutting it in cubes. Now that's thickening up beautifully, so I'm going to go ahead and add in my cream cheese. It doesn't have to be perfect. Let's just get it as melted as we can to begin with, because this is going to go in the oven. Now I've cooked 1 pound of elbow macaroni. Use whatever kind of noodles you want. I would say penne would be good. What are those spirally? ones, that would be good. But I've cooked a pound. Now, cook them just shy of being done. I like my noodles al dente, which just simply means they've got a little bite left to them. They're not totally soft. But drain your noodles, do not rinse them. If you rinse them, it takes that starch off, and all this cheese won't stick. And that's what you want. Okay, so the cream cheese is almost totally melted in here. You see we've got like a cream cheese white sauce here. Now we're going to add some mozzarella. We're going to add 2 cups of mozzarella. And yes, I'm using the prepackaged. And I like it, and it saves me time. Okay, so here we go. This is melting quick. Now, I know this is controversial. I have 4 ounces of Velveeta, the pasteurized cheese, and I cut it up into cubes. Now, it's creamy, it melts beautifully, and it keeps your macaroni creamy. So, if you don't want to use it, leave it out. I like it. And you may think this is too thick, but you need it just like this. Okay, so we've got the Velveeta. It is almost totally melted. And I have cheddar. I'm using sharp cheddar today. And I want 2 cups of it. These are 2-cup packages, so I'm not having to measure. You know, if they're a little off, that's fine. It's not going to hurt anything. And we're going to get that stirred in. So while this is melting, let me stir it a little bit. I have 2 tablespoons of butter here that I want to melt. And y'all know I cover it up with a paper towel because I don't want that mess in my microwave. So I want to get that melted because we're going to mix that with some Panko and put it on the top. Okay, so we've got this going. Now, I want bacon. I don't have any bacon, so I have this stuff in the bag. This is real bacon, real chopped up, and it's good. I like it. So we want, what's equivalent to 6 or 8 slices? So, you know, I'm just going to sprinkle till I'm happy. You know that's what I do. Let's use it all. Not that. And that was a 3.5 ounce bag that we're using. So let's get that stirred in. Can you see that? Oh my gosh. Okay, so here we go. Here's my macaroni. And I want to stir in these noodles. Yeah, I think I'm going to put a splash more milk in here. I want it a little more thinned out. So that might have been 1/4 of a cup. So I'll write that in the description box in the recipe. So instead of 1½ cups of milk, we're going to use 1 3/4. Let's stir this around. Now, I think we can turn this off now. So this is what I usually do. I didn't this time because I wanted you guys over here where I can see you and we can work easily together. And I have a cast iron Dutch oven. You may have seen me using it before. This is what I like to fry my chicken in, or pork chops sometimes. But I make it in that. You want something that is oven proof, because we're going to put this in the oven when this is mixed up, and I think we're there. So I have one more stir. I have a 9 by 13 baking dish. I am going to put this in the baking dish. And like I said, if you do it in the Dutch oven, something oven proof, you can just leave it right in that pan. So give me a second, let me get all this in this dish. Okay, so remember the 2 tablespoons of butter that we melted. I have a 1/4 cup of Panko breadcrumbs, and if you want more, use more. And I'm just going to use a 1/4 cup. I just like that little bit of crunch on the top. And we're going to combine those. Just stir it together. Get all of those breadcrumbs coated. Bring it back here. And I'm just going to sprinkle these breadcrumbs right on top of this macaroni and cheese. As it bakes, they're going to bake up golden and crispy and amazingly delicious. And I said, if you want more, use more. Use about a 1/2 stick of butter and 1/2 cup of panko. Let me wash. Okay, so I am going to put this in the oven, uncovered, and I am going to bake it for about 30 minutes. And then when it's done, I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you what it looks like. And we're going to give it a taste test, okay? Y'all, I just took this out of the oven and I want you to look at this. Isn't that beautiful? I got a close-up picture so I can show you what it looks like. And I know it's going to be hot, but I'm ready to taste this. I can smell it. You smell that bacon. You can smell the jalapenos, all the cheese. It's going to be good. So let's dip into it. I wish Stephanie was here to try some with me. Oh, looky there. Try to get it where you can see everything. Look at that. You see all that steam coming off. You know this is hot. My goodness. And it's a hot day. And Miss Patchy's been in and out. She says it's too hot to be outside. Y'all. Oh my goodness. That combination of all the cheeses, that bacon, the jalapenos, and it's not hot. That little bit of crunch with the panko on top. And it's just enough to say, I've got something crunchy and make it delicious. I certainly hope you're going to give this a try. Now, I'm going to have the recipe in the description box up under the video. Now, if you go to the title of the video, you'll see more. Click more, and it's going to open up that description box, and just scroll down till you see the recipe. And it's very simple. So there's just, steps at a time with melting the cheese, and that's it. All you're doing is stirring. But also, I'm going to have the link for my cookbook, and I hope you'll check it out. I certainly appreciate it. We're very, very proud of it. I know you keep hearing me say that, but I can't say it enough. This is a dream of mine for many, many years now, and I finally got to do it. So hopefully book number 2 is going to be out in the fall, and this recipe will be in it. So I hope you'll think about checking that out, and the link will also be in the description box under the video. I want to say I appreciate each and every one of you, and I love it when you stop by and join me in my kitchen. And I feel like every one of you are right here, and I just want to dip you a bowl of this macaroni and cheese because I know you're going to like it. Thanks for joining me. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And I hope I'll see you soon. Bye, everybody.